Hi, hello. Day 3. We're extending the random acts of bringing light day into 3 days because one should. You should extend a day like that. We've got all kinds of light. I had to give you a concept of the magical wonders I'm surrounded by currently. I really liked these lanterns over here. The enchanted land that I'm in is full of so many enchantments. I'm so lucky to be friends with these people. I'm back here at the Colorado Shoe School where you can look it up and make your very own shoes, and they do amazing things, and there's wonders all around me, and I can hardly believe where I am right now and the level of enchantment. Like, we've got to get a proper angle. It's a little troll man emerging. His head is emerging. So I tied together some whimsical wonderlandy fairy tale-ness, and my friend Annabelle, who runs the shoe school. This is like a crouchy den of wooden wonder. I'm just in such an enchanted place. I can hardly believe it, scarcely behold it. Everything is so epic. And I just wanted to see the lanterns because it went with my Arabian Nights theme and bringing the light theme, lights hanging from the trees, as you see. We'll settle down here for a second. Everything is full of wondrous blue glass and trinkets. Oh, see, even that is most Arabian in nature. And skulls and things and baubles and flowers, oh my! Oh, I forgot such an important key component. I really hope they're okay. I don't know what's going on. I know that I'm not supposed to touch them. But we're going to zoom in. There's baby birds right here. And my friend Annabelle, who just got her citizenship today. It's amazing and it's an extremely joyous occasion. She got her citizenship. I'm so happy for her. Today, of all days, I thought of her. But these baby birds, are sitting here, and I'm not sure if they're okay. Because they're breathing, and they seem okay, but I don't know. And I just saw a monologue about how you should never touch a baby bird if it's on the ground or fallen from a nest, because then the mother will smell your humanness and reject it. And how horrible would that be? So, hello, it's still me. So look at this throne. It is a chair fused with a log fused with tassels. Speaking of which, no hassle, let me just show you my tassels. In fact, let me just show you the other ones, which are on my legs. This just obviously was the outfit that needed to happen. Tassels, 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 tassels. It's a cape with tassels. This outfit came from my mother's shop back when she had it. So yeah, I'm just surrounded by real whimsy, and it's got me feeling more like myself. I had a little meltdown today, and then my good friend brightened me. I was getting all cute in my costume, and I was like, could I maybe film in front of your lanterns today? Got all ready, made her a gift for her citizenship, plucked her some flowers, was feeling so excited, and then I thought, I don't have a car. My car is in the shop, and I would never do something like that on purpose, but I felt so silly. I was like, oh, I don't have a car. Speaking of feeling silly, I read you Kingsley Mole yesterday. I told you if you're too lazy to watch yesterday, did this about the day before yesterday as well, because random acts of light, giving light, showing light, being in the light day was actually 2 days ago. I started out, I said I gotta break this in 2 days, went yesterday and started running out of storage, so I'm breaking it into 3 days of light. So I'll read the quote for a third time if you're too lazy to watch yesterday or the day before. There are 2 ways of spreading light. Ooh, we just got some shade. Do appreciate the shade as much as the light on a 100-degree day, which it is. Starting over. There are 2 ways of spreading light. To be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. By Edith Wharton. Still haven't done my homework to find out who you are, Edith Wharton. Edith Wharton, Wharton, but I'm going to. I promise. Upon this piece of log, I will find out who you are. Wow, the whole color spectrum just changed because of the clouds. How interesting. So, random acts of light. indeed needed upon the planet presently, all the light we can muster. So I read to you yesterday Kingsley Mole from T-Rex, who I started a church of T-Rex and records and obsessively finding the deeper meanings in records. Started that church with a friend who has since fallen by the wayside of many dark temptations. But we were very close and we studied these lyrics incessantly. And I read it yesterday and I had to correct myself because you can't mess up a thing like Kingsley Mole. So I corrected myself from many years ago, not knowing how to spell Knoll. I had spelt it N-O-L-E. And so N-O-L-E spelled like that looked like hole. And I started the poem. Kingsley Mole sat high on a windy hole. Now, a windy hole is another thing altogether, and I knew what it was in my mind, but I was nervous and hot and reading, so I said, sat high upon a windy hole, and that's just funny entendre. It is. Kingsley Mole sat high on a windy knoll, his eyes consuming the silent midnight woods. He nuzzled his long, mole-ish snout deep inside the heart of a marigold, and let his mole-ish imagination skip to and fro. I won't read the whole thing again. You'll have to watch tomorrow. You'll have to tune in back to yesterday if you want the whole thing. But I do love, on the opposite page, Mole was on a marigold come down, and sulkily scraped blue bead rhythms with his ground-digging paws. Yes, he whispered, me and Lai are going a-questing. I just love a-questing, and I messed that up yesterday too. I said scraped bluebird rhythms. It's actually, he was on a marigold come down, and he sulkily scraped blue bead rhythms. You know, the blue bead rhythms. So I just wanted to get all that squared away. Now that we're straight on that, I'll give you some more. Now again, in the Stony Baloney Journal, I have tried to mark things that I've read before, but my marking system is not that great. So I'm gonna read you a few, and at least one of these will be new content, I promise. At least one. Guaranteed one piece of new content, but I'm not sure on a few of them. But we spoke of the master of lighting, the dabbler of lights, and how I just had many flights of fancy about him and wrote him a lot of poetry, and sometimes I get that way about a certain soul. So now I'm on a roll, day 3 of this, well, and some of it was Waking Life, big inspo at the time, some of it was Church of T-Rex, big inspo, and some of it was just the Arabian Nights and being in, and Alice in Wonderland and being in many theatrical productions, and this friend, Annabelle, and I just bonded so much over the real fairy tales, not the ones you've come to know, but the nitty-gritty, crazy, shit going nutty fairy tales of, you know, girls cutting off their toes to try to get the prince and cutting tongues out and all the craziness. We bonded over that, and I just had my good friend Red Riding Hood read to you about that, and I found some more about all that being tied in. So I will articulate it now for you presently on day 165, I believe. Deep into the 160s. Here we are. Gold pen. Hope you haven't heard this yet, friends. I remove this lucid cloud gauze hence, that I may capture my fair woodland cherub ghost come morning. Someday, this thick, ancient, musty haze finds me needed somewhere in those deep copper vessels of yours, the infinity of a human eye. He beholds me, has yet to hold me, basking solo in the ghost light. I must believe you will someday. These Newtonian gods, these dreams bestowed to us on purpose. Sleep knowing your divinity. I crowd pluck bouquets of soft-petaled heroes, soul sojourn seeking goddesses, dream soft. Keep me in Arabia a while. Seldom a softness such as this, Some years pass as bruises, slow fade to Big Apple boy, Angel City girl. Whatever wind's wish is as it must be. Whatever wind's wish is as it must be. She chases butterflies deep into the thicket. Follow close if you dare. Sacred honeycomb, mariposas in her hair. I'd weave you a wild flora crowned. Artemisia ludoviciano, a type of sage. I'd entwine her too. And Rosa woodsii, small white flower. She'd come along for hours and hours. Don't close your eyes yet. You can be always in your dreams. It's something in your voice, maybe. I'll find out in due time. I'll find out in due time. You etch this potent smile into my warm and ready heart just before slumber. This swell, syncopated surges. Surely your dream self will explain it all to me eventually. Don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm having a trip out of reading it to you before or if I'm having a trip out of the actual thing itself happening so many eons ago. You know, it's hard to keep up with. Yes. Don't think you've heard this one. Give it a go. Carte blanche cream pie. The goat bleat effect. She chugs wine, no holds barred, wire barbed, idiosync, I see. Lunacy rolled from bad dream sheets. It's like nobody knows each other's numbers. Backyard buoyancy, empty fridge again, crucial crust devoured. Critically approached. The way to do. Cope sparingly, brandishing naily-fingered chainsaws. Enlighten scent. The answers only cost $3.33. Hate to be cage kept, breath mumbled, neck bottle, lip lashed, ventricle chasms, assured rest, sided blind, tied tongue, dumb free. Busy so, you never had it so good, you never had it so. Disguised or gusted, bustle hustle, downplayed, tight sleep, wisely choose. Then I found this little nibble, red-faced and irresponsible, breathing whiskey sweat on her white shirt collar. Don't know what that's from. Just a nibble. And then this harkened back to my friend, Lil Red. Just all tied in. Finger, spindle pricked, apple bitten, taken temptation, fermentation, flirting with midnight, white snow skin, ebbing blood like waste. Save the princess, charming kiss convert, coffin glass, heavy breath fog, ball gown unraveling all over, shattered crystal ball splinters, off to perfect empty sunset castles. Woo! Woo! That gets juicy. I remember in the tub we did some sort of embracing of utter weirdness from the bathtub, and I mentioned that this said war begone and that I had gone on for several pages about the word, but it's actually the word woe begone, different word altogether. And I didn't read the rest of that page about other things. A lot of times when the house felt like a refrigerator and we wished we were somewhere else. Corroborate. Innocence is laziness. Innocence is only wisdom in a world without evil, without darkness closing in. The lone one falling behind is the one the foxes goes for first. It is my job to outshine the fox in cleverness. Otherworldly in the extreme. The truth would make for a bad sermon. Life is perhaps longer than you think. The ancient Spartas solved problems by listening to whoever spoke the loudest. There's no man I can relate to here, and men run everything, tittering away on the edge. Youthful, witless scruples. Now, I know this is from a documentary of some kind. These are not my words. And again, if you have any knowledge of these lines or quotations, please hit me up and let me know. Put it in the comments. I don't know. I don't remember. I know it's really good. Like, really good. Like, extremely good. Yeah, that's amazing. Youthful, witless scruples. I just don't remember where it came from, but it's good stuff. There was certainly another part, certainly another part, certainly another thing I was going to read to you. Certainly another part, certainly another part, certainly another thing I was going to give to your brain. Here it is. Sometimes I even thought you knew me so well. You were torturing me, punctuating the moments that I had to wait, puncturing those holes, knowing I'd pour poetry's dances through them, in them, around them, stories galore that I'd keep falling and falling off the cliff you'd push me from, and falling, eyelids flapping, windswept hair, falling, till you'd catch me at the very end. Don't even know who that's about, but perhaps it's about that same person. I can't say for sure. One more little ditty, and then we'll look at some pretty things. Ditty, then pretty, then that'll be the show. This is just a funny tidbit I found. Schoonering around. If we don't go now, we're not gonna get there. Well, where are we? I don't know, but if we don't get going, we'll never get there. We'll just scoon around. You're always scooning. Not today. We won't get there. It's hot, but sure. The big bad wolf wasn't quite so prevalent. Not the spiritual kind, that other pack over there. You can't be on the top of anything there. You witches gotta be real careful with your powers, man. Damn almighty. It's a soul like velvet you've got. I just thought that was a good tidbit. It's a soul like velvet you got. I don't know. I'm seeing if there's any other random thing. I'm just gonna read this because it's asking me to. Those moments I almost had you. I remember thumbing the long roads of your corduroy. I traced lines down your leg, and you let my fingers live there in that semi-together, touching, privileged way. I rubbed my face slowly on your neck that night and swore it could be that way for years more to come. You saw me dancing in the footlights, and that woman loves me. I felt you breathe the thought, though you wouldn't dare speak it. But true, I did. True, I do. Yep. I know who that's about. Not the same person, but it is a longing that lasted for quite some time. Okay. I think that's what I want to give y'all. This is notes that I have to use for my novel, and only I can follow this, but like novels and movies and writing myself notes. Face in space. .nasa.gov. You should look that up. I don't know what it is, but it was important. To elaborate, birth, the first breath, my backseat space, Fats Domino or Chubby Checker, a painful wailing birth that touched on death, the howl, the howling, molar music, Mozart from the vents, Green Bay Ice Incident, Barbie Car Envy, Plum Tree, George, the Betty Boop Collection. She knew the lyrics to every song. Switching bodies, going backwards, the car wash. Closing on the test. Non-acceptance of the math section. Won't go that. That's a confession. The star theory, misguided, miscommunicated, brought out the wand again. The coconut dance, constellations, cellar door, the pumpkin people, part swapping, the near fall. How big was that tree? Life flash, the boat game, knee-high people, the fort, the need to always be younger than you are. Falling for him in the street, slow and backwards. Jealousy, why ever put it on other women? Lost love, 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 lust, love, lost, lost, love, love, lust, love, love. The children always know. The fine line of decency, hill rolling. The hollow fountain, all those other pilgrimages. The tongue tip, so glad to lustfully experiment with it. Dead frogs I collected. Gruesome stories accompanying sweet ones. Made up songs, doll plays, theme parties, ringmaster, scene stealer, the rather brilliant time travel play we did in the basement. Wow. Yep, it goes on. There's just a lot of notes to self that are pretty good notes, you guys. You know, hill rolling. You know, hill rolling. It's as good a place as any to end it on. I just kind of want to show you this last thing, and then we'll sort of be on our merry way. I really enjoyed being in this place today. I feel extremely lucky to have done so. I'm going to show you another little piece of art. Look behind me. Can you see that thing? It's like a little mansion made out of used materials. Little mansion. And then this art here just really beckoned me. Everything around me is fanciful as can be. So please check out Colorado School Shoe. Edit, rewind. Please check out Colorado Shoe School. These artists are remarkable as can be. And I sure had a wondrous time bringing you some more light and strangeness and light. We'll end it on the little mansion because it's my favorite part. Favorite part.